Hello and welcome to Castle's Corner. I am Coach Castle, and this is the Adapt and Overcome podcast. I am, of course, Castle, and this is Matt Martin, and we're back today for a part two of Nutrition Talk. So, again, thanks for being here, Matt. As always, your knowledge is valuable. Let's talk about nutrition. How do we handle our clients when they have cravings? How do we get our clients to eat lower calories without noticing it? What kind of foods do we substitute, etc.? That's what we're going to be talking about today. So, Matt, what you got?
I have always had my clients tell me, "Oh, I want this sugar snack," or after a workout or something to that effect. So I'll tell them, "Look, your body is starving for protein. It's starving for water. It's starving for good nutrition." So I always use like frozen fruit that you can buy in the smaller packs, almond milk unsweetened, and a scoop of protein powder. If they want Doritos, your body's deficient for its stuff, its nutrients. So if you feed it what it wants, you're gonna feel fine.
I would say a big thing on that is people seem to have this opinion nowadays. I know you deal with it all the time probably, but carbs are the devil, carbs are evil, don't have carbs. Well, after you just have a really hard workout, you've just depleted all the glucose in those muscles. Guess what you want? You want carbs. And if you give your body healthy, high-grade carbohydrates, you will not be craving them the whole day. You'll just replenish your muscle glucose and then you're good. Now, if you don't do that and you're like, oh, well, I have to have less carbs because I'm trying to lose weight, et cetera, you're going to experience these hunger cravings. One of the things I deal with, again, generally not like experienced clients of mine, but definitely newer clients, will put them on a diet, kind of slowly, half a pound of weight, etc. But they'll always say things. I'm finding more and more common that people are addicted to sugar. They're actually literally addicted to the sugar, which is
Yes.
it's very common. I mean, you can get addicted to sugar. Every time you have sugar, you get addicted five different ways, three different dopamine pathways, plus your gut biome, plus the psychological effect of it. So you're getting addicted five times when you have sugar. So, for me, anyways, I find explaining so people understand what's happening really tends to help. But just in regards to, like, I don't really want to get into explaining the gut biome and dopamine and stuff right now, but just in regards to switching foods out, I like to give people numbers and amounts so they can compare it. So, like, a couple of examples of foods that, for example, you cannot overeat. No matter what you do, you cannot overeat these foods. Now, I'm not telling you to only eat this food. I'm just saying you can eat as much of it as you want and you won't gain weight. Some of these would be examples of like chicken breasts. Have you ever tried to overeat chicken breasts? It's not possible. You ever tried to overeat steak? It's not possible. Have you ever tried to overeat whitefish? Again, it's not really possible. Two pounds of whitefish is only about 1,000 calories. Another one, watermelon. Have you ever tried to overeat watermelon? Well, if you ate 10 pounds of watermelon, you still wouldn't even hit the 1,000 calorie mark. Sugar-free Jello. I recommend this to a lot of clients who have cravings for sugar. This is because sugar-free Jello that comes in packs of 8 or 12. If it's a pack of 8, the entire box of sugar-free Jello, which is very sweet, by the way, has a nice texture, is 60 calories. If you get 12, it's like 80 calories. You can eat those things all night long. You're going to get your sugar fix. It's going to be nice and sweet, and you're going to have the texture and everything else. And you're not going to get fat from it. Who's going to be able to eat that many, sugary cups in regards to volumey foods? I got a couple examples I brought with me, but let's just say in terms of volume, pasta. Oh, Jesus, somebody's killing your dog. In terms of pasta, everybody likes pasta. I always recommend this one. It's Miracle Noodle. Yeah, Miracle Noodle. This whole pack is 15 calories. For if you put this in a bowl, it'd be a full bowl. All you got to do for this is throw it in the microwave for 30 seconds, throw some ground beef and marinara in there, and you got your meal. Your meal doing that will be whatever, 40 grams of protein, depending how much beef you put in there. You're going to have your pasta, which is 15 calories, and then however many calories from the marinara. Compare that to a single cup of spaghetti, which is 200 calories. Just think
Well,
about the
that's
comparison.
100% right. You're not trading the food, you're trading the ingredient.
That's
You
all
know,
you're doing.
and like, okay, kind of back to my a chocolate milkshake or a chocolate piece of cake or something like that. People think they want it because they're vitamin deficient. They are. They're looking for their ADK, A, B, C, D, and E, all that kind of stuff. Whereas if you just took the berries from the fruit You know, you just fixed it.
Mhm.
You know, you fixed your craving, and this is a neat trick because I get low blood sugar all the time, you know,
Mhm.
because of being diabetic. And so I'm not going to get into this whole big thing about the glycemic index and how it affects your body and all that, because that's a whole month worth of videos if you really break it down. But the thing about it is, I take in a lot of simple sugars because it's the way my body digests them. You know, I always eat apple. I always eat low sugar, you know, no sugar added, low sodium peanut butter. You know, is it still peanut butter? You bet it sure is. But I traded the ingredient. And that's what I teach all of my clients. I don't care if you're eating a Hostess Ding Dong substitute that you made out of protein powder. It's the fact that you're not eating pre-manufactured food. You're not
Mhm.
pulling it out of a wrapper. You're getting it from the grocery store. You're going to the organic aisle. You're doing something better for yourself, because those pre-manufactured foods, they're terrible.
Well, on top of that, I mean, just on a quick little side caveat here, the pre-manufactured foods have tons of things wrong with them. I'm not going to get into that. But one of the things you should know, just going back to sugar, go ahead and look at any manufactured food, even the Doritos you were talking about.
Yeah,
Companies lace them with sugar so you get addicted to them. They know how sugar works. You don't get addicted to the salt. You get addicted to the sugar in those items.
right.
And on top of that, most of those foods, this is an entirely separate subject, but most of those pre-manufactured foods, guess what? They're all extremely soft. They're mushy. So what does that mean? It means you're not using your jaw muscles. You're not biting. And when you do that, you're not actually releasing stem cells for healing. I mean, you're gonna interfere with your breathing. It's gonna interfere with your teeth development. It's gonna interfere with your jaw development, with your actual posture, just because you're eating soft, mushy mashed potato foods constantly. We're supposed to be chewing things. I mean, it might sound funny, but even when I cook my steak and my chicken and stuff like that, I make sure when I cut it, mid-rare by the way, I make sure when I cut it that it is in chunks. So I have to sit there and actually chew on it. And that's for two reasons. One, that chewing is really good for you. It's not the video to talk about that, but it's very good for you. You have to be chewing on hard things. And second reason, it makes you eat your food slower, meaning it takes longer for you to actually eat it. You're going to be full faster while you're eating. And on top of that, chewing is vital to digestion. So many people just kind of suck their food down, but when you chew, it mixes with the saliva, it gets macerated and broken down inside of your mouth. These are all very important things. I know we're talking about just kind of food in general, but these are all very overlooked components to food, which really we should make a whole nother video just about this, but just to address this. Yeah.
I'll put this in. Let's say you go out on a Friday night with your significant other and you're going to Applebee's or Chili's or whatever the case may be. Do not eat your salad before you eat your main course. That is not an appetizer. It's so high in fiber that it's weighing down your digestive enzymes. And it's making it, that's why you feel so heavy and bloated when you're done eating. Eat your salad last. That way, your digestive tract has had time to gear up and start breaking down the food.
I mean, I would even go so far as to say if you're out to dinner with your lady or whoever, just why are you ordering a salad anyways? Just order some kind of a meat appetizer, chicken
Well,
satay or
yeah,
some
yeah,
shit.
yeah,
You know what I mean? You
exactly.
ain't gotta have a
But you know
salad.
how everybody always tries to give you that dinner salad and this, that, and the other with your meal,
Just
and then
don't
they
eat it.
bring it out. Well, of course, but we're starting from ground zero of how do
Okay,
I
yeah,
eat
just fair
better?
point. Yeah, fair point. People do always assume the salad is healthy, and I tell people, listen, salad generally, I'll say generally, but vegetable salad of any form is another one of those unlimited foods that you can eat. You can eat as much of it as you want. In regards to the fiber, that fiber keeps you healthy, keeps you full. Your gut biome lives and thrives on fiber, meaning you're healthy. Salad in itself is not bad. When it's bad is when you start putting all kinds of bacon and blue cheese
Dressings.
and tons of dressing. I believe me again. I mean, I know I keep kind of saying this, but I was a chef for 16 years, and I would make a salad properly, and I would send it out perfectly according to fine dining standards. And then I would see people almost every single goddamn time request dressing on the side. I refused to send it out unless requested, but I would send it out after requested 30, 40 times a night because people would just dump it on theirs. I have instances of people literally basically drinking the salad dressing. What's the point of the salad at that point? You're eating 9,000 calories of dressing and 50 calories of salad. There's no point to that, you know?
Another nutrition hack, don't necessarily don't deep fry your foods and that kind of thing.
Air fryer. I love
use
air fryers,
fryer,
dude.
and for like my pork chops and stuff like that, I love to put them in the oven and broil them.
Mm-hmm.
Broiling is, and it's got the little catcher pan underneath the rack.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I broil my steaks, my pork chops, all my meats. I broil them if I don't put them in the air fryer. But you always air fry. You always broil.
You know, going back.
Mrs. Dash.
I was gonna say, going back to the broiling, the air fryer and all that stuff, we don't want to deep fry things because when you deep fry something, what happens is it gets saturated in the surrounding oil, which adds a tremendous amount of calories to it. Not necessarily so much that it makes it unhealthy. That's an entirely different subject. But just for this subject, it adds a lot of calories to it. When you take the same thing, doesn't matter what it is, and you air fry it, you have no extra calories added to it, but you get the same exact product. Really, I mean, that's why I like air fryers. In regards to the fat on steaks, for example, that kind of fat, I'd like to say again, there's nothing wrong with that fat. You actually want to be consuming that. That is healthy fat for you to be eating. Animal fat.
It's as healthy as an avocado.
Yes, but again, don't just sit there and eat ribeyes every single night for dinner. That's a lot of calories and fat. But time and place. I love fat on my steaks. I even like fat on my chickens. I leave the skin on. I leave the fat on. I leave the fat on my fish when I cook it, especially salmon. You leave the skin on. You cook it, then you get that nice layer of fat in between. Then you pull the top of the skin off, and then you eat the fish. Tastes much better, etc. But
you keep bringing up a lot of dressings, and a really good nutrition hack that I teach everybody that I do for myself, of course, because I'm not going to ask somebody to do something I don't do. And the thing is, I'll use like that crushed garlic pepper, or some kind of light garlic powder with the correct kind, the salt and pepper derivative, and or crushed pepper, or liquid aminos instead of soy sauce, Mrs. Dash. And you talk about how you can eat things and it doesn't hurt you. You can't do too much of it. That's the kind of seasonings you can use as much as you want because it's good for you.
I get it. In terms of seasonings, I should always kind of make a distinction here. There are spices and then there are seasonings. Seasonings, generally speaking, are the things that you don't really want to have on your food. Those are things that have been manufactured, processed. They have all kinds of added MSG and shit to them. That's generally like you see a bag of taco seasoning.
No, that's stuff. Right.
No, but those are seasonings, pre-made blends of things. Then there's spices and things like that.
Okay, I'm a spice fan.
No, I know. I'm being clear with the distinction. Those kinds of things are all excellent. Those are just like peppercorns. It's just a little thing on a bush. They take it, they grind it up. It's a natural thing. Salt. We know these things. These are all natural things that you just find. They get powdered or ground up, and then you season your food with. And there's millions of them. So if you're not using them, you really should. I don't even really use dressings or sauces too much. No. I just find they make a mess. Honestly, I kind of eat fast on the go, generally speaking, kind of run around. I like dry rubs for everything, dry seasonings for everything. I have like 30 little pint cups that I just keep in my cupboard that I make myself. I mean, maybe we'll talk about that another time. But you know what? Just to get back to the nutrition, let me give you a couple of snacks I have over here that I actually like that maybe people haven't seen before. So in regards to the chips, I like these guys. I don't know if you've seen them before, but they're basically just shiitake mushroom chips. They're freaking awesome. I'm a big mushroom guy. We haven't talked about this yet, but I'm a big mushroom guy. I even microdose, have been for years, but different kind of mushroom. But they're excellent. The entire bag, the whole freaking bag of these is 140 calories. There's 3 servings to the bag. I can just sit here and eat these things constantly. They're better tasting than Pringles. They're extremely fluffy and crunchy, like like a cheese puff, maybe. They're awesome. Another really good snack I like to recommend myself, because I like them with burgers and stuff, and my clients, is veggie straws. If you guys haven't seen these, I'd recommend you check them
Oh, I
out.
have those upstairs.
Yeah, these things are freaking awesome. I like just to have these with a burger I make or something else, but they're awesome. And again, the whole bag in itself would be 420 calories for the entire bag. It's a big bag, guys. Again, you can't eat this in one serving. Maybe
No.
I couldn't eat this in one serving.
1 second.
Yeah, keep going. I'll keep talking, but go ahead.
Okay.
Ice cream. You guys all like ice cream? Well, here's an ice cream I like to recommend. It's the Halo version, but there's other versions as well. I think you can probably see from the front here, but there's only 5 carbs in the entire pint. The entire pint is only 460 calories for the entire container. A pint of Haagen-Dazs is always going to be over 1,200 calories and less than about 1,600 calories generally. Another really awesome snack, and I would like to be really clear about this snack, by the way, guys. Popcorn, microwave popcorn, but it's a very specific kind. Okay, only this kind. I'm going to get to that in just 1 second. So for this one, it's Smart Pop. Each bag is 100 calories. All right. You can eat as much of this as you like, pretty much, because it's an extremely high fiber content. And I really don't think you could eat more than 5 or 10 bags in a day anyways. Now, the reason it has to be this Orville Smart Pops is because it is the only one that I know of on the market anyways that is 100 calories a bag. Every other microwave popcorn will be over 500 calories in the bag. Now, when you look at the back, when you look at the back of the servings, they'll trick you. So even with something as simple as microwave popcorn, it'll say something like 100 calories per serving. So then you think to yourself, well, a serving must be a bag, right? Wrong. Look at the servings and it'll say 6 servings per bag. This particular brand, one more time, Orville Smart Pops, I recommend all of my clients keep boxes of it in their house and eat it constantly. There's all kinds of different ways you can season it that don't have calories to make it sweet and stuff. But anyways, it's a great snack. You can eat it all day long. You can eat it with every meal. You can eat it as a snack. It keeps you very full and it's only 100 calories. But every other microwave popcorn will be over 300, 400, 500 calories a bag. Don't eat those. Just eat this one. Yeah, Matt, what'd you grab?
I kept bringing up Doritos. I get this popcorners.
Never seen it.
Oh, it's amazing. A whole serving is 16 crisps, and that's only 140 calories.
Nice.
But good luck getting through 16 of them.
Yeah, you're not going to use 16 servings for that. Yeah.
This poppables, it's 150 calories for 26 pieces. You're going to be done by the time you've eaten 10 of them.
Mm-hmm.
So it's, I like my Cheez-Its. I always liked Doritos as a kid, and I always kind of like the Cheetos kind of thing. Well, there's my healthy alternatives.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's just the choices you make.
I got just 1 or 2 more I want to show people because, again, I might not know about these. One of them, I eat bread every day. People think it's crazy when I say that. I don't think a day goes
with honey.
Yeah, I don't think a day goes by I don't eat bread. Now, I eat bread, this bread, though. Now, there's 2 kinds of bread I eat. I don't have one of them at the moment. It's Ezekiel bread. I like Ezekiel bread.
That's the best.
Yeah, but then the other one is just this. It's 45 calories a slice. So what I typically do is I have a peanut butter and jelly sandwich with 3 pieces of it. The jelly, I just make it myself. It's not hard to do. You just boil down blueberries or strawberries. You add some honey and some Splenda and some form of thickener. I'm using agave. But anyways, that's that. And for the peanut butter, I use PB2 peanut butter. It's a powdered peanut butter. The thing is with me, I like sweet peanut butter. It's not sweet enough for me. So it's the same thing when I mix it. I also mix in honey and I also mix in a Splenda sweetener. Makes it much more palatable to me. It just makes it taste like peanut butter. Am I adding a lot of calories? Not really, but I'm making it sweeter, and it is, I mean, I don't know, 80% less calories than regular peanut butter. So the whole sandwich in itself
You
is only
almost eat like a
320.
diabetic.
Well, depending, it depends on what I'm doing. I mean, everybody knows I have periods of time where I'm eating like 4,000, 5,000 calories a day. They'll see me having a pizza and a burger 3 times that week, but generally speaking, actually pretty much always until I see it, my six pack starting to go away slightly, I eat the way I eat. If I see it starting to go away a little bit, I never increase cardio, but I just monitor calories slightly. And because I have a good chunk of muscle mass on me, the weight burns right off real easy. Plus, I mean, I'm very active. People
No,
don't
no,
understand how
no.
many
You can
calories
get
are burnt
10,000
talking.
steps in a day.
Well, I mean, I walk a lot. Plus, I walk with my clients. Plus, I do my cardio. Plus, I'm speaking the entire day, which burns a ridiculous amount of calories just
Sure.
speaking. I need to make a video on how many calories are burned from speaking. Actually, it's a great way to to lose weight. Although you might piss people off.
um, the only difference that you have that I have on everything you mentioned, I get like the Schmucker's zero sugar.
Oh, it's an easy way to do it. Yeah.
Because I can't really stand there over the counter and be doing a whole bunch of stuff, obviously. So whatever hack I can do. And like I wanted pizza the other day. So I got a rice cake and I got some turkey pepperoni and I got some shredded cheese, but that shredded cheese was that 1/3 less fat and the whole thing,
They
you
got
know.
they have a lot of cheese nowadays, little protein squares. They take the fat out of the cheese
Yes.
and they leave just the flavor. Those are awesome. There's a large variety. I keep seeing popping up more and more of them. Every year I see more and more of these amazing diet foods. It's on my list to make a list for you guys. I just haven't done it yet. I mean, I could easily put together a list of like 70 things I just keep in my house. But if you guys were like to come to my house, you wouldn't see any like normal food, I guess you'd say. You'd see a fridge full of spinach, eggs, egg whites, protein shakes. I mean, it's full of stuff you wouldn't normally see. Even some stuff you probably never heard of. Like I like to keep kava in the house. I like
Yeah.
I like kratom. I like random things a lot of people never even heard of. I don't consider these to be supplements. I like them. But again, my house isn't full of like when I go to most people's house, I see what their house is full of, and my house isn't full of any of that.
I go to
I
some
wouldn't have
people's
it.
houses and it's like they're a 5-year-old kid. All the
Yeah,
sugar, all the kid cereals, and they don't have children.
I say it looks like they just got away from their parents for the first time. That's how most people's
Right.
houses look. Doesn't matter if they have kids, if they're married, it doesn't matter. Most people's
Oh my God.
houses look like they don't know how to adult.
No, it's true. It's like, your labs were bad because, I get this all the time. Man, my labs are bad, but I eat my meals, I do this and that and the other. I'm like, dude, you're not eating meals, you're eating empty calories.
Yeah. And you not only that, but again, I've touched on it. I think in the last video I touched on it again. But briefly, guys, think about it. If you eat something, again, I like to use Reese's because they're the most innocent seeming thing. They're just two little Reese's cups. But if you eat just two little Reese's cups, that's 200 calories. And now, guess what? If you weren't hungry, now you're hungry. Now you want to eat more. And what do you want to eat more of? The same goddamn thing you just ate. Whereas if you didn't have that 200 calories of Reese's cups, let's just say hypothetically you didn't have the Reese's cups. Hypothetically, you had 10 peaches. Okay, you ate 10 peaches. You still did not consume 200 calories. You're very full. Let's say instead of eating the two Reese's cups, you had 2 bags of microwave popcorn. You're not going to want to eat again for 3 hours, and you're not going to gain any weight. That's 200 calories, and you're going to have energy as well. I might add.
The final hack that I really want to drive home, a lot of people are starting to see these diet snacks. And I always see them sitting next to like diabetic candy or something like that. All they're doing, everybody, is trading the sugar for just a very substantial amount of fat. And just stay away from that stuff because it's not doing you any good. You're trading the sugar for fat.
You just brought up yeah, let's talk about this for just a quick second because listen, guys, in my opinion, eating healthy is not a difficult thing to do. It's truly not.
It's
But
easy.
here's what makes it hard is the fucking boxes and labels. So here's what I would recommend to you guys just who are watching the video currently, because we don't have time to get into it fully. Go on YouTube. I'll make a video about it myself soon, but go on YouTube, search how to read nutrition labels. Any video. I mean, there's probably hundreds of the things. They are so very, very misleading. And in order to read them properly, you just need to learn how to read serving size, calories, and ingredients, and then also understand a couple simple things, such as if one ingredient is less than 1%, they are not obligated to put it on the ingredient list. They can list it as other. Now, why does this apply to you? Is because lots of times they'll have ingredients in there such as sugar, but they will have 3 or 5 different kinds of sugar, but they will put just enough in of each of those kinds to keep it less than 1%. So you actually have 5 grams of sugar in that item,
Absolutely.
but they say that there's none. Why does that matter? It matters because it's making you addicted and it's adding other, I mean, you guys get the point. I'm not going to get into it, but it is like this with so many items, so many things. What you just said about
Probably 40% of your basic shelf on, like you were showing your Sara Lee bread. I have that too, but I always get naan bread, NAAN.
Yeah.
And oh my gosh, if you get through just one serving of that, you're gonna feel full, but it's a good full, dash of
These are
honey on it, and you're good.
satiating foods. This is what people need to understand. There are foods that you can eat and eat and eat and eat. Ice cream. Okay, ice cream is a great example. I saw this guy, I can't remember his name, it was Zimmerman or something. He was on Man versus Food. He did an ice cream challenge where he was eating 5 pounds of ice cream. As he's eating the ice cream, he's about 4 pounds, 4.5 pounds in. It was disgusting to watch, I might add. He was 4 pounds, 4.5 pounds in. He looks like he's dying. He looks like he wants to
Face
throw
all
up.
red, starting to
Yeah.
sweat.
Yeah. So what does he do? He doesn't think he's going to be able to complete the challenge in time. So he asks the kitchen, he says, excuse me, guys, I would like an order of extra crispy, extra salty fries brought out to me. They bring him this giant order of fries. He eats all the fries. The salty reflex triggers him to want to keep eating sweet things. He is then able to complete the challenge plus an extra 2,000 calories of fries. But if he hadn't eaten the fries, he never would have been able to complete the challenge. And this is
And
how
if he
food
would have
marketers,
just had that teaspoon of salt, he would have been just fine.
but this is how food marketers get you. They will include salt or sugar in their foods, but make sure they have the right amounts of both. I mean, again, Doritos is a great example. It's sugar and salt. That's salty, sweet, salty, sweet, salty, sweet. It makes you want to keep eating them plus the texture. Now, it started off only being things like snack foods, peanuts, chips, glazed things. But then everybody caught on to this and it became common knowledge. Now I can't go to the supermarket, the middle section, by the way, if you want to be smart, around the outsides of any supermarket, that's real food. You pick it up, it's a fucking onion or a carrot or some shit. That's food. You go to the freezer section, those are bags of food. You go to the middle,
1, 2, 3.
you go to the middle
9,
section of
8,
the store.
7.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Go to the
then
middle section.
4 through 6, stay away.
Yeah, it's colorful, rainbow colored boxes and I mean, again, I'm not saying don't eat it because even I indulge in cookies, cakes, candies, pizza, everything. But I do it in moderation, and I have spent 15 years building my body, my willpower, my knowledge, and everything else to allow me to do that. And I don't overdo it. It's very
Even
simple.
my popsicles are those outshine 0 sugar popsicles. I mean,
But
and it's a one and
people,
done. I'm not sitting there.
people will hear this. They'll hear us talking like this. And I know they'll hear us talking like this because I was this guy maybe 10, 15 years ago. I would hear two bodybuilders talking about how I don't know, blank, 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 blank. And I'm like, I can't do that. I have to have my cereal. I got to have my,
And you can have your cereal,
you
but make it
can.
Cheerios with Splenda.
That's the thing is you
Don't
can
go
even
getting
have,
Cocoa Puffs.
you can have anything you want. You can have all the stuff that you want, but trust me, when you're eating healthier versions of it, your body feels totally different. Your energy levels
You're gonna
completely
feel
different.
great.
Your mood is more stable. Your sleep is improved. Your workouts are improved. Your body composition looks better. Literally looks better. You feel better. As soon as you eat something, and it happens with my clients all the time, they'll be on a great diet, they're doing good, and then they'll say, hey, I got this party this weekend. What do you think I should do? Should I stick to the blank, blank, blank? I always say it. Always say every time I say, don't worry about it. Go have fun, have a good time. They'll go to the party. If it's a new client who hasn't done this before, they'll eat whatever they want. And then for the next 2 or 3 days, they'll tell me how fucking horrible they feel and how shitty, awful they feel. If it is an experienced client, they will do the same thing I do. They will go to the party. They will eat something before they go, something they're supposed to eat before they go, so they don't go there ravenously hungry. At their party, they'll eat stuff they enjoy, but they won't overdo it. And they'll try to eat stuff they know they should be eating. They can be social. They can have alcohol, but don't sit there and just keep drinking, 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 drinking. You know what I'm saying?
Don't go funneling the
Moderation.
beer.
And again, when you understand what happens when you do those things, you don't want to do it. When you understand how you feel and how it fucks up your sleep and your recovery and how it inflames you and everything else, you don't want to do it. It's people who are not mindful of the change and have never experienced it that becomes an issue, really.
A lot of your cravings, even just, I know you talk about sleep all the time, and it's true. I'm telling you guys, 90% of your cravings come from bad diet and lack of sleep. So if you get
100%.
your 8 hours of sleep and you're eating reasonably well, then your cravings for junk, they're gone. And a lot of times when you're hungry, I mean this wholeheartedly, hand to God, you're thirsty. Your body's
Yes,
dehydrated and it's wanting some kind of nutrient.
that's an excellent point.
And then start drinking water. Your body knows how to resource its system. It
Another,
just does. I
another,
promise.
yeah, another point I should make, I mean, but anyone who's listening who has actually taken the time to track your calories before for, anything more than 2 weeks, you will know with some form of estimation how much you should be eating, roughly speaking. You'll know, roughly speaking, what your portions should look like. You'll know, roughly speaking, how many protein, vegetables, etc. You'll know roughly what it should look like. And after 2 weeks of doing that, just say you stop tracking, you're gonna almost instinctively know when you're overeating. The issue again is when you start switching your foods out that you're not going to notice that you're overeating. So if I'm accustomed to eating oatmeal and egg whites every day for breakfast and chicken breasts and broccoli and whatever for lunch, etc., you get the idea. And then I switch over from doing that and say, I'm going to take a break from all this rigid structure for a while. And I'm going to have mac and cheese and grilled cheese and cereal. And I'm going to have pizza and ice cream as much as I like. And if I notice I'm getting fat, I'll stop. Here's the problem with that. You have no idea how many calories you're now consuming. The calories that you are consuming are going to make you feel lethargic and shitty. You're going to lose your sense of mindfulness. You're going to lose your edge. You're not going to notice when you start getting shitty and out of shape. And if you do, you're going to go ahead and let it keep going a little while longer. Now, this doesn't mean you have to be crystal clear, sharp year round. I like to be. Most people I know like to be. You don't have to, but just be aware that if you want a break like that, you should set it for a period of time. I'm taking a break for 1 week. I'm taking a break for 5 days. Don't say, I'm taking a break and then I'm going to get back sometime soon. I'm taking a,
That's just like,
don't
hey,
do
I'm gonna
that.
go to the gym and get feeling better.
Don't do that.
If you wait until you're in shape to go to the gym, you're never gonna go.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
It's exactly the same thing. It's exactly the same thing with judging. People don't want to go to the gym because they feel they'll be judged for going. I've had people tell me they don't want to do the freaking biomechanically perfect exercises at the gym because they're worried people are going to think they look funny. I said, dude, if you only knew how ridiculous that sounds. Number one, you don't look funny. You look like you're doing the perfect goddamn thing. And when you're able to explain it, they'll know you are. Number two, no one gives a shit about, who do you think you are? Do you think anybody is looking at you? Do you have a bright pink hat on that's 3 feet tall or something that I don't know about? Nobody is looking at you.
I well, to be fair, I quit going to the gym one because I just I know better, and number two, I was tired of getting bothered.
Well, plus in your case,
And
people were talking and looking at you for specific reasons, though.
well, yeah, and that's my point. But Joe Average going to the gym, nobody cares.
No,
They just want to
no.
make sure that they can get their presses and their pull-ups and their lat pull-downs and their whatever they're doing. But
They
me,
hold.
I would be going to the gym and people would start telling me, well, I saw on Instagram, I saw on YouTube, I saw whatever, and you're wrong. And then I would just ask them, how many bodybuilding trophies have you ever won? How many championships? Well, none. Okay, well, when you do, let me know. Because if you know something I don't, then fine.
And
You
people
know?
are always going to have differences of opinion. But I mean, I would just say as a caveat that just because I go against this on a weekly basis, the number of trophies and your physique in general means absolutely dick about your knowledge. It means
Oh,
I tell people,
absolutely.
I have people come up to me just when I'm in the grocery store, just looking like fucking normal me. Oh my God, are you a bodybuilder? Are you a coach? Are you a trainer? Are you a personal trainer? Are you a blank, blank, blank? And I always say, well, yes, but just understand how I look is no reflection of my knowledge, and you should never believe somebody based on how they look either. I have
No,
no trouble.
because 90% of those people hire a coach to do all the work for them and they don't know jack squat.
I've had a lot of clients of mine because, again, I'm an educator and I educate. So when you finish with me, you have a pretty thorough understanding of biomechanics, nutrition, and everything else. Not to my level, but a pretty thorough understanding. And I've had a lot of my clients want to become personal trainers, or they want to become specific kind of coaches and stuff. And so I say to them, I say, well, well, listen, I mean, you understand blankety blank as it pertains to you, your genetics, your physiology, as I've explained it to you. You do not understand the nuances of how it affects everybody else. So when I've explained to you this is how you should be sleeping, that's because that is your particular genetic circadian rhythm. That's how you sleep best. That's not going to work for everyone else. So if you try to plan somebody else to sleep like that, it might not work for them. Your diet, you're a hard gainer. You have a lot more calories than I would typically be giving somebody. You can't plan to have somebody like that. Just cutting calories is not an answer to losing fat. And so they get these impressions that because it worked for me, well, I know how to help everybody. And I really, in a very nice, delicate way, try to put a stop to that. You know what
Oh,
I mean?
absolutely. You know, and that was a great final thought because you got to be delicate when you talk to people. Otherwise, they're not going to be able to open the door, I like to call, to let knowledge flood in. They're just going to, well, I learned this way back in school, back in the 80s. Well, we're proving every day in science the same way that the things we learned back in the 70s and 80s, in my case, just aren't right. I mean, Pluto's
A
not
lot
a
of it.
planet anymore. I mean, that kind of thing.
But
So,
let's wrap it up now, I think. So, guys, just real quick, this is the end of it for today. I think next week we'll do supplements. Just a reminder, check the description. We always include lots of stuff in there, links to all of our stuff, the Etsy store, the other YouTube, our Instagram, our Facebook, our blank blank, all that stuff. Make sure you share, like, comment, support the channel if you can. Comments, we'll answer them next video. Everybody, have a great day and stay hard, stay on your grind.